What's up, Vibes fam? Welcome to another episode of Vybez Shortz, a conversation series. My name is Peta Vaughan. I am the host of this series, and I'm excited to bring this series to light so that I can have conversations with just dope people during these times of quarantine and the pandemic that we're in. And I'm excited to have this amazing guest on today, Miss Tiff Hubbard. Thank you for being here. Yo, your spoken word has me all like, whoa. So I like that. Can we get one of those again? Can I get
whoa.
All of that? I'm still working on mine. But yo, I'm so excited to have you. Thank you for being here. And please do us a favor, introduce yourself. Who are you be? Who you be? What you do? Where you at?
Who I be, what I do? My name is Tiff Hubbard. Full name is Tiffany, but I go by Tiff. It's cooler.
Yeah.
I do spoken word. I act. I currently live in Los Angeles, but originally was born in Hawaii, and then lived in Colorado for like 12 years, and now I'm here the last 5 years, and I love it. Live out here, work out here, play out here.
Yeah.
It's hot, but I love it. I love LA.
Right.
You know?
So you get used to that LA heat.
I was getting used to it. Like after we left Hawaii, I was like, oh, okay, let me adjust to the cold for 12, 13 years. And then coming back here, I was like, I'm sorry. Hot. This is so hot.
Yeah.
So.
Ooh, what was that like living in Hawaii? You were like born and raised there until you were how old?
I was born and raised there until I was only 7 and a half. So okay. I spent most of my time growing up in Colorado, but from the time I had just in Hawaii, it was like, I could live here. Like for me, that's where I want to retire. And that's where I want to spend the rest of my life is going to be in Hawaii. It's it's expensive, but it's peaceful. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You pay the price for your privacy. So that's what I miss.
Hawaii is definitely a vibe. You know, it's like I've been there 5 times. It's definitely like a calling. Yeah, man. Like, for whatever reason, it's always calling me, and I always get all that I need from Hawaii. It's like spiritual grounds, you know?
For real.
I dig it.
Your ancestors.
Yeah. So you're living out here in LA. Tell us what you're doing. You're doing acting, spoken word. Tell us all the things that you're up to.
I'm doing acting, poetry, and spoken word, but poetry's been my main focus like the last year or so. Been doing open mics at the Poetry Lounge down in West Hollywood slash Hollywood, performing there Tuesdays. Haven't been able to have any shows, obviously, because of quarantine. All of them got canceled. Like it was the same week we went into quarantine, the rest of the shows got canceled, everything for the year. And then rehearsing for a play right now, a French, it's not a French play. Actually, it is a French play. It's a French play, but we've translated it into English. It's like an old Shakespearean type vibe. So we don't know when that'll be up now, but still rehearsing, still getting in that work. So
that's awesome. When was it supposed to happen?
The hopes were like end of 2020, and then getting that up and then seeing if we could carry it into 2021. But
yeah,
we'll see. It's cool. A little break never hurt anybody. So
not at all. You know, rejuvenate your creative juices.
Exactly. Take a break from it all.
Well, yeah, I heard you just said poetry and spoken word. Is there a difference? Because I thought spoken word was poetry.
Yeah, I don't even know myself. Like when I started it, I would always say I write poetry, but I perform spoken word. I think I don't know the actual definition, but I think for me that's the difference of like you write poetry, but if you perform spoken word, but there's like open mic nights.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know the difference. You know, I don't really know what to label myself as.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, that's the first time I've heard it in that like differentiated, like poetry, spoken word. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I get the concept of both.
Both, yeah.
Performing spoken word and then writing poetry. Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of how I see it. Like one is just performance based. One is, I don't know.
No. I feel like, hey, it is what it is.
Right? It is what I say it is.
It's what you make it. So let's touch on that. I first heard of you from Julian Caesar's IG post of your Timelines spoken word. And I first saw it and I like lost my mind. I was like, what? Who is this? Who is this? Where did you come from? And why am I not like, you know what I mean? I was just so blown away by this Timelines piece. And I immediately had to like hit you up. I was like, yo, this is awesome. Where you been? Who are you?
What's poppin'?
Right? Because your Timelines piece reminded me of Def Jam, of Def Poetry Jam back in the day, like early 2000s, I think that came out. And Russell Simmons, when he put on this Def Poetry Jam experience on, was that HBO? I think it was
HBO.
Yeah. For my old school, my old heads, y'all
right.
remember that, or if you were into spoken word. But I was definitely about that whole series. And was it just one season? I think it was more than one. I think it was.
Yeah, it was a very short-lived era. It was like 1 or 2 seasons, and then they like never went back. They did like a couple, like one spin-off, but it never.
Yeah, but it was so good. It was so good. I remember just watching it every single, like, yo, this is awesome. And so your performance of your Timelines piece reminded me of that, and I was like, yo, this feels like a piece of my teenage years, or like I think it was young adult years. So 2002, I was like 22. Yeah,
there you go.
And yeah, so it was awesome. It is still an awesome piece. I would advise everyone to go check that out on Tiffany Hubbard's your social media, your IG.
Yes.
Yeah. And I want to like talk to you a little bit about how you got started in spoken word, into poetry, and into acting, because they both, play. I mean, you merge the two very well. So tell me about.
Oh wow!
For you.
Well, thank you for comparing me to Def Jam. Even like, not many people know about that show, and so many people passed through that and have been on that stage. I mean, Kanye West was there for an episode, and all the greats. And
yeah.
I remember just watching it when I was maybe like probably a sophomore, freshman in high school, maybe, and just catching like old episodes on YouTube, and then I watched their spinoff for a bit, and I remember just being so intrigued with like the theatrics of it, like the way that people, it's just them on the stage, it's just these words, but they're taking these words and giving them life and giving them a way to carry them out. And so for me, like, that's what got me hooked and interested in poetry. And then I started writing only really when I moved out to LA, and moved out here in 2015, I think late 2015. I just started writing poetry because that was the best way I knew how to cope with a broken heart. I was like, I'm gonna turn this heartbreak and make it into art. And for me, I remember it was just like journaling. It was like, journaling was fun, and I could do that and get into a rhythm. But something about poetry was like, it was a way to collect my thoughts in an organized, rhythmic order. And then from there, I think 2017 or 18, I was asked to perform some of my poems, but I'd always written like long form poems, like the ones that I perform. But I was like, who's going to want to hear me blabble and do this for 3 minutes? Who's going to want to hear me talk about what I just went through for 3 minutes? And then after that, I was hooked. And it wasn't until I started performing at the Poetry Lounge and getting more comfortable with it that I was like, let me just see if I can merge more of the acting into my poetry. And that for me is the goal for, I think, the rest of my poetry from now on, is to just make it more than words, but make it a show that you want to come and see and experience and feel, and it's my whole body's at play rather than just me and a mic. It's everything, and I'm here and I'm there. So and my theater background, like, that for me is just, I love theater. Like, I love acting, and I love to be a film actress eventually and work my way into TV. But for me, the art of acting is theater, is live theater, because you can't, if you mess up, you mess up. That's everything, There's no going back. So that's where the two worlds I found have met and have meshed together quite beautifully.
Yes, they have. From the pieces that I've seen you perform, I think what's unique, I feel like you are able to not just like speak the words. I feel like you embody the words, and then they come out and you deliver them to the audience, to the viewers, to your people in a way that we can receive it, and also, well, for me, my experience, also feel it within me, like as you speak these words. And I feel like that's pure magic, and you do that so well. So as I said, I saw that video and I was like, yo, I need to reach out to this chick right now. And I featured that poem on my Vybez IG page, because I was like, yo, I wanted to create a creator vibes showcase like every week, where I just feature different artists. And you just motivated me, like, because I was like stalling on it, and then I saw it and I was like, yo, this gotta go up right now. Like, this gotta go up right now. Everybody needs to see Tiff. Just, they need to feel this. And so thank you for that piece. And Serendipity as well. And brand new. But you said you just started to write, right? You started to write the spoken word when you first moved to LA, or write poetry when you first moved to LA. But what made you want to perform them? What made you like decide, like, yeah, you know what? Because like you were saying, you were questioning like who would want to hear it. Like what gave you that spark to want to just go perform?
I think there really just came a day when, as dramatic as it sounds and as much of a hopeless romantic as it sounds, there came a day when my heart had just, it kind of finished its healing with the situation I had just left and the person I was growing to become. And it felt as if I'd kept all those poems and those spoken word pieces a secret. And it was like, why do I want to keep this a secret? Like, I'm not ashamed of it. I'm proud of it. If anything, I went through it. It's funny. It's awesome. It's great. And I just, for me too, it was like, I'm ready to reach out and find other people that are willing to connect and you know, have that same feeling that when I wrote this, you know, you also endured it when you heard it. And I think too, I after doing it the first time a couple years ago, the Poetry Lounge became like my goal in sight. I was like, if I can get on that stage, I'm gonna go hard. And then I think for me too, like the first time I went to just kind of spec it out just to see what it was like. And I remember seeing a lot of people do like freestyles. Like it would be poetry, but they would just freestyle over a beat or no beat. Like, wait a minute. Maybe on top of the theatrics of it and the writing of it, what if we throw some like hip hop in some rap vibes into it? Because for me, like poetry for me always should have a rhyme. Like for me, my own poems. So that's where I was like, let's add some beat to it, you know?
You have referred to yourself describing yourself as being a combination of Viola Davis and Shonda Rhimes in your brand new I pay attention, in your brand new spoken word. And I feel like that's what you are, right? Because like that art of acting and the art of storytelling, that is definitely, you merged that so well, so beautifully. So
thank you.
That's well self-description there.
imagine their love child, like unstoppable. I mean, hey, where's my birth certificate? I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Right?
Could be anyone. How to Get Away with the Love Child? Me.
Yo, I hope they watch this, because that's funny as hell. But tell me what inspired the timelines piece. I thought that was so moving, because it matched the times, and I know where it's about, you know, us focusing. I mean, you can explain it a little better, but for me, what I got was you focusing more on like us as a society focusing on social media and all the technical things, and not really like having that connection face to face. And like all we are deprived of that now, right? We're not able to be close and socialize, but it was still very like true to the times, where it's like, once you get out of this, are you still going to be in that whole technology and this sort of like way of connecting through a machine, for lack of better words, but like, you know, and not doing the intimate, like physical touch connection, like being with each other. And I'm sure people are feeling all of that, and I'm sure they're grateful for the times when we could touch each other and hug on each other and love on each other in person. But I would love to know what inspired that for you, the timelines.
Wow. Well, that piece, it's funny because like now I want to call that piece sort of like timeless, because I wrote that in 2017.
Yeah.
The bulk of it was written in 2017, and it had a completely different tone to it. It was more of just reflecting on my own my own personal relationship with social media and the way I handle things of that nature. But I brought that piece back out in December, and I remember writing the first opening line, have you been watching the news lately? Or, do you only keep up with your local Kardashian? And for me, that became a focal point, because I think a lot of times, in the world we live in now, Hollywood is seen as like this holy mecca of just ripe for corruption and ripe for meddling the minds of people everywhere. And in that first line, though, I say local Kardashian, because I think people put a lot of blame on Hollywood because the camera's on Hollywood, the camera's on these people. But if you think about it, there's people all over the world that have a local Kardashian that we stay up late at night and we talk about and we check in and we gossip and we worry about other people who we give this sort of fame and celebrity to. We make up our own celebrities and our own stories. And prior to writing this, now in the world we live in, the whole FaceTime and having connection with people and the way we look at money, it's like, for me in my personal life, I had to have a switch where I was like, I'm spending way too much time focused on making money. I'm not spending time with the people I love. I'm working myself into the ground for nothing. For nothing. I see to no avail where this will lead me, whether it be good or bad. And, on top of that, another addiction I realized I had was social media and scrolling through those timelines and scrolling through a Twitter timeline or an Instagram timeline. And, to round out the whole piece, I mentioned, like, have you checked in with your own timeline? And so for me, most, if not all of my pieces are, I kind of get the beat of it and I can kind of hear it in my head, but I write them in a way of a mantra that I can repeat to myself daily if I need be. So if I'm, on social media, I'm there and I'm like, have you checked in with yourself lately though, Tiff? Like, you said that. So do you believe it?
Yeah.
So I think this piece was really a self-reflection piece that turned into a self-reflection for everybody. And I feel like, it's important to really realize the role we all play, but it's not a small role. We have such a big space to make a difference and to check in and say, I don't need to give you my time, my energy, my money, or my resources. And I think that's where we're headed now in this time of, the government here in the US is absolutely failing its people, hands down. It's not, we keep printing money onto just plain paper and then we don't expect this to come back later. Hurt us, so, we're taking a look at everything now. And, timeline is, we are on one solid timeline, all of us right now. We are all on pause. So what are we doing to get ready to come off that? So,
a mentor of mine, Rob Goddess, refers to this time as being a sacred pause. Like, it's a pause where you get to just check in with yourself and the people around you, and just a time to just be human, right? Really, like, as you said, I love that line in there. Have you checked your own timeline? I was like, yo, that shit hit. I was like, yeah, for real, have I? And I offer it here because that's the space we're in now. We're like, you have all the time in the world now to just scroll away like all day long. And I did an episode with social media brand strategist Lou Madden. Go check out that episode. And she was talking about, and I offered that I wanted her to be on so she could talk about just positive ways we can use social media and setting boundaries around our social media, like just setting like a screen time, like, oh, I'm going to just do social media from this time to this time, right? And then from this time to this time, I get to like check in with myself, or journal, or whatever the case is. So I just offer that up because I love that line. And now in this time, we get to just not, social media it's great. It's a great way of entertaining and being and connecting and all the things, but you get to check in with yourself too.
Right.
So I love that line. Thank you for, that's line's legit right there. That whole spoken word is just legit. So
it's a fun one. It's a very fun one. I love performing that one now. It's too much fun to do.
Yeah, no, you kill it. You just fucking kill it. So because of that piece, this is why we're here. And now
say social media brought us together.
Right? Yeah. And now we're friends, and I have not met you in person yet, but when we do, it's on.
It's gonna blow my mind.
Right. So yeah, thank you for that piece. But I also love your serendipity piece, and I love that piece because I can relate to it. Right? You're talking about, and we've spoken about that in a different space, but I love that piece because that piece sounded to me like heartbreak, right? Where, you know, you're talking about a woman that you're involved with and the relationship, and she's Miss Serendipity. I love that piece, and I totally could relate to that because, you know, women are women. I love
women. We're a bag of
love women.
I am woman, I love woman.
Right. All of those things. But yes, but there's always I'm not even going to go into that. I'm going to leave that there. But I love that piece because for the fact that I can relate to it emotionally, because I feel like I've been through that, and the way you delivered it, I was like, that's me. Thank you. That is so me. Like, yo, you just told all of what my heart was feeling. Thank you. Tell me about that piece and what inspired that piece.
Ooh, that one for me is a surprise too. Like to have you even connect to it. Like for me, I felt so disconnected from it writing it. I remember writing it, and I don't know if I wrote that one backwards, or I think I started in the middle, and I worked that one from the middle, and then built the story and the arch of the story coming back and circling back to that middle. But that piece is a heartbreak one. I think even to think about it, it's a heartbreak one because I think in a sense I almost wrote my own destiny with that. I almost manifested my own sort of life story and experience with this beautiful person that this is about. But it's a story of just, it kind of takes it from beginning, middle, and end. You know, you meet somebody, things are new, things are hot, it's hippin'. Yeah. You know, and then somewhere along the way, things happen. Things weren't discussed. Life just happens. And then, you know, in the end piece, it talks about you never know. You know, I think I don't know if people get the joke, and not everyone gets what serendipity means. I remember I had to explain it one time that it just means happy accident. So the term Miss Serendipity is simply just, if this happens again, it was a happy accident from when we met, again in life. Because I think for me, the overall theme of that piece is just, you know, life goes on. Life, it will happen. If it comes back to you, it's yours. If not, you know, you let it go. You move on. Yeah. But I don't know. It's a fun piece to perform. It's a funny one that I wrote, not as a joke, but there is definitely the comedical bits in there that's don't take it too serious. You know, I think my favorite line in that, hands down, is your best friend is Benji, or what is it? You bend it over like Becky. That little segment. Yeah. I was just having fun. I was just having fun with that, and I think that's, you know, I like to write pieces that reflect who I am. I'm very serious. I'm very funny, but I'm very passionate. I don't take anything, you know, too hard anymore, I guess. So it's a fun piece, I guess. Yeah, it's a fun but like emotional piece. Like, you take us through the journey of it, where it's like, okay, this is how it started, and then in the end, you're just like, yes, what you said. You know, that's very. It's a very right, like snaps, big snaps. I remember performing that one and being like, wow, you had to get that one off your chest, didn't you? Oh, you know? It's a very raw, it's a very honest, you know, and very real. It's a very real story, you know. So it's not something that's made up. You can't write something that to that level without having experienced that. And yeah, I love that piece. I really love that piece because I could totally relate like 1,000% to it. I'm like, yeah, we've spoken about this. We've spoken about that one, based on my past relation. But yeah, we've all got our own Miss Serendipity. We've all got our own, you know. I remember someone asked me once, "Is that about me? Did I write the piece just actually about me?" And I thought about it. That's a good way to put it. And maybe I did, you know. Interesting. I feel like
one of the reasons I relate to you is because I feel like you remind me of me when I was 23. Like, I still can't believe you're 23. I'm just like, what? How? I feel like you're such an old soul, and you vibrate on this vibes, right? You vibrate on this frequency, right? You vibrate on this frequency that is of like an old spirit that's just been around for that's just made many lifetimes around the planet, to me, and I just love your energy, and I love your vibes, and I love that, because I feel like even though you are the age that you are, I don't feel like you vibrate that number per se. And you just had a birthday. Happy belated. Like, Earth Day was your birthday.
Earth Day was my birthday. Thank you.
That's so. Taurus season. What's up? And right. You better rep that, Taurus.
No. And
you had actually asked me what advice I have for you at 23. And I'm gonna hit you with it now, because I feel like I was actually been thinking about it. Like, it's been like, okay, what don't you already know that I would be able to offer you, and probably not anything, but if anything, it will serve as a reminder. I'm not saying I'm going to offer you anything, but what I'm offering is this, and it's to trust yourself. It's like you're going to fail at a lot of things. You're going to be challenged by a lot of things, and you're going to be broken down and beaten up by a lot of things. But to trust that it's all for the greater good. Like, it's all obstacles are moving you in the right direction. It's like to redirect you in the right direction. So I felt the need to offer that, because I'm also in that. I was like, at 23, what was I doing at 23? What was I feeling? What was I going through? What was my circumstances? And that's what I would tell my 23-year-old self, because I don't think I had that much trust in myself then, So I'm offering that to you, because I think that could take just trusting ourselves and knowing that everything is happening for a reason. Everything's happening for you, not to you, whatever the circumstances is, good, bad, or whatever's in between. And it's just to move you in the right direction to where you need to be. So that's what I'm offering.
I appreciate that advice. I absolutely receive it. And I'm going to keep that at the forefront of my mind for the whole year, because I think that's what 22 was really trying to show me too, was trust that intuition.
Yeah.
Trust that gut. Trust that you know what works for you, what's right for you. You've been on this earth 23 years. You didn't do it alone, but you damn sure didn't do it without being there for yourself. So
yeah.
I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. You're definitely welcome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't imagine you at 33. Like, how much, you know what I mean? Like, how much more you'd have to offer. Because at this age, I was not thinking, I felt like I was a deep person at 23. I feel like you're deep. Like, you just, you check in, like, you check in with your soul. Like, and for me at 23, I was there, but I wasn't where you were. I wasn't like sitting there like, this is what I want for myself in my life. I was just like, okay, where's the clubs?
Don't get me wrong. I still
women.
Right.
Not to say that you're not about that either. I don't
know. No, I'm definitely like, that's like, as much as I love to be in this sort of stoic state of being, and I come off as very together and relaxed and grounded. My wild side, when I want to be a kid, when I want to be immature, I sure can get there though, and that for me is like the beauty in meeting people and meeting new people. And I find so much wisdom in people that are just older than me, whether it be a year, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years. Like, to me, I think it humbles me, because I'm always thinking, well, this person, and which you have for sure, you and most people that I meet, they have something to teach me. They have something to offer. Yeah. There's a lesson to learn, but then I'm humbled by knowing that I can still teach them something.
Yeah.
Even in my 23 years, I've gathered my experience and my opinions, and can share that with new people, can share that with friends, and You know, I think that's the one thing too, is I'm trying to make sure that as much as I love to be this person that I am, I still want to have fun. I still want to live my youth while I have it. And I think I can get too caught up in trying to have it all together, but it's like, I want to be 23. Summer's about to come around, about to be hot girl summer. I'm going to miss it. Oh, I'm not gonna miss it, but am I going to get it? You know, am I going to get this hot girl summer 2.0? It's all like, they canceled Pride. They canceled everything this year. So we'll try again in 2021.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. Everything comes in cycles, you know. We can't have it all every single year, all the time, all day long. But you'll get it, you know, you'll get it. So, but yeah, I'm just glad to know you, and I'm glad we get to share this, and I can't wait to connect after this whole Mrs. Rona finds her way that way.
I know, we're in the midst of a terrible divorce with Mrs. Rona and human population.
Right? We trying to break up, man. Like,
right? It's not working for me. Sorry to tell you. I'm going to need you to leave. She's like, what?
We are married. Like,
we're married.
We have vows.
Remember? You messed up the universe, so now you get me. Okay.
Real life. But tell me about Mrs. Rona, about COVID-19, how it's been treating you, how you've been with, why do you think it's here? I love asking people that. Why do you think it's here?
Wow.
How have you been dealing with it?
Yeah, I think she's definitely here to teach us a lesson. I think that I think my biggest thing is she's here to teach us, you know, about climate change. No one wants to listen. No one wants to really give it a break or try something new.
Yeah.
I think, like we talked about earlier, I think it's here to teach us a lesson of, you know, hearth and home. Can you spend time in your home and hearth, or are you distracting yourself? Are you going to work? Are you going to parties? Are you going to friends' houses? Are you escaping on your lavish lifestyle? But stay away from a place where you can ground yourself and say, this is my center. And I think too, that's a big thing, is like, everyone's at home, everyone's in their home. How are you spending your time? You know, how are you using it to better yourself, to learn about yourself? And I think the flip side of that is, like, some people have too much time on their hands, and there's some people who don't know what to do, and they're not in safe situations. You know, and those people my heart breaks for, because this was like the flip of a switch. You know? For me personally, it's been, I think in the beginning it was I was taking it serious. Me and my roommate and my friend that was staying with us were in high alert mode. You know, we were taking precautions and all that. And I think now, as we've kind of realized that this is something that's going to take time to change and adapt to. For me, it's like, I love the time to kind of just hang out with me. And I think people often forget that, like, even though there's more time now, people still do things. People still have a routine. I'm still going to work, so I'm still interacting with people, which is scary, you know, but you come home and you just come to this place. It's the only place you can go to right now legally, unless you're out there secretly partying. It's like, you know, I love coming home. I love being in my home, being in my space, and having my routine and my meditation. So it's, you know, I keep high spirits. You know, this is awesome. People are so quick to want to FaceTime and Zoom and all that. And so learning, getting used to it. I know we talked a bit about it, but it's like, dating in quarantine is so funny to me. The immediate switch of everyone being like, no, what if I never touch a human body again? Let me hit on everybody. That's just what it feels like. I'm like, everyone's shooting shots, everyone. But I think it's
is that what everyone's doing? Because I don't know.
My basket
put me up on it, right? Last game, that's why we're there.
We could literally just switch out and be like
we could. You're right, and it would be
I used to have a nose ring, so I could pop it back in.
Listen, we about it. We're on the same wave, so you know, that's why we out here doing this,
right?
But what do you feel like you've learned the most about yourself being in this pandemic?
The first thing that came to my mind was patience. I think that I realized, like, I have more patience now that, you know, no one's forcing me. I'm really just taking the time to review things and to what's the saying? It's not to react, but to, you know what I'm trying to say?
No.
I'm just trying to thank you for your help. Phone a friend, not Peta. Do not phone Peta as a friend.
Yeah. Don't phone me. Don't do it. I'm gonna just tell you right now.
No, I think I think, yeah, just learning to take the time to really
Mhm.
just, realize how I affect people, realize how they affect me,
Yeah.
and just, learning to not be so instant. That's always been my big thing is
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I'm a bit quick to the jump. I'm like, I can be a bit fiery and a bit too sudden, if
Yeah.
something's really not working for me. And so
Yeah.
learning to see those head on from the beginning and making space for things that matter to me. So
Yeah.
a lot of
And that also comes
readjusting.
with, yeah, I feel like that also comes with trusting yourself too. Like,
Right.
right? Because like it's that instant gratification where like, oh, I gotta go do this. Like right now, because you just get the sudden impulse to do it. But I think
Right.
there's also a distinction too, because I've been working on this following the flow of spirit. Like, okay, I feel called to go do that, and like
Hmm.
not waiting because I'm also a waiter. I'm like,
Yeah.
but I can be impulsive too because I'm a fire sign. But yeah, so it's just finding that patient and that trust. That
Yeah.
comes back to trust. Like, okay, just taking a pause. Like this is a sacred pause. Like taking a pause before you just go
Jump
and
back in.
yeah, and trusting your intuition,
Right.
listening, right? That's also a thing. Listening.
Right.
Then you can make moves from there. But I feel you on that on the patience thing because I can be impatient as well as a waiter. So I'm working on that.
You
Like
know,
when to wait and like listen and when to just follow spirit and go.
and go. Right.
Yeah. But thank you for sharing your thoughts on that and your process.
Of course.
So this brings me to the part what I've been waiting for is you're going to perform a spoken word piece. That's awesome. I can't wait. I don't know what you're going to perform. You're going to surprise
I'm gonna
us.
surprise
You're going to surprise us with an awesome spoken word because I need that. Like we need that.
because I do that for you.
I need that in my life right now, and I'm sure the viewers will enjoy it. And it's such a special treat because I just freaking love your spoken words. So, what are you gonna hit us with, and what is it about, and what inspired it? Give us the background.
Breakdowns and say you want me to talk about it. I feel like this one does need a little bit of explanation.
Okay.
Um, I wrote this one after our first conversation,
Mm-hmm.
first time we ever talked and connected, and it's called Forget Me Not. And if you don't know what a forget me not is, it's these little plants it's like seeds that are often used when burying someone or like for a funeral.
Okay.
And as morbid as that is, I think the underbelly of this whole coronavirus thing for me that's hit home, that keeps me up at night, that keeps me worried is, 50,000 people, 60,000 people here in America, but almost, what's the numbers worldwide now? I'm not even sure. Do you know?
I don't know. I try not to
I
pay
try, yeah.
attention to that because
Just
it's depressing.
right, I know. But like that's the part that is so unfortunate that as much as we want to avoid it, 200,000 some people are living through it.
Yeah.
And for me, the hardest part, the reality of it is all these people who are passing away aren't passing away with their loved ones next to them. They aren't passing
Mm-hmm.
away with, a proper celebration of life after. You can't
Yeah.
gather more than 10 people, but you've been alive for 75 years. You've met more than 10 people. Your family is, and these people can't be there to hug and to love each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that was on my mind as part of it, was just this grieving process that people are having to deal with, not being with someone they love.
Yeah.
Um, and I think for me, as someone who I'm very comfortable with life, I'm very comfortable with with death. I think that you can't have one without the other,
Yeah.
and being very honest in conversations with those. And I often sometimes think that when you are cutting a connection with somebody, you know if they passed away, that's a different, you grieve over that. But if you like what it's like to grieve over someone who's still alive, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To grieve over the death of someone who's still physically here, but
Ooh, girl.
two of you are no longer. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Now you've taken me. Oh, girl.
now we're there. So that's the theme of this piece is grievances and what it's like, and forget me nots are, the seeds you've planted in people and the seeds
Mm,
that are everywhere. So
yeah.
are you ready
Awesome.
for it?
Awesome. I'm ready. Yes.
All right. It's
Give it to
called
me.
Forget Me Nots. I'm gonna be reading off my laptop.
Yeah.
I can't believe we let destiny tear us apart. That sneaky bitch had your head, so who has your heart?
Mm.
I'm not giving you any closure. I'm being greedy for once. Because if you hate me now, then I know it was all love. I told you nothing lasts forever, and that's what this was. We were everything and nothing, still never enough. I made a promise to myself that I will always wish you well. I ask God to ease your mind and protect your health. And I give you my grievances if you think I healed too soon. Letting you go is easy. My father is the only person I couldn't stand to lose. I spent the last 12 years a slave to my own emotions, and what I thought was a forward motion was only a backward notion. It kept me in this sort of mental prison farthest away from my mission. Because what I found is that if you're idle, it's vital you go and find what's been missing. So how many loved ones you lost, and how many lost loves you got? Because I promise you, what is forgiven is never forgot. And that's forget-me-nots.
Listen,
What you think?
listen. I need a minute to let that one sink in, because ooh, yes, I was like tearing up, like hearing that. So
For real?
I felt that for real, Like,
It's
thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you for giving me the space to share that, because that's a piece that
Yeah.
I needed to hear. And I think, grieving for everyone is, everyone's grieving right now. We all lost our sense of what we thought was working,
Right.
to be
Well,
uprooted like that, so
yes,
grieve together. We get through it together.
we get to grieve together. You're right. And this is why I have this series. Like that was pure medicine for me.
Medicine people, that's what we do.
Yeah, man, this is, wow. I hope y'all felt that one, because Tiff just like blew that shit up. Thank you for that. Wow. I feel like I want to hear that like 10 more times, I'm not gonna ask you to do it 10 more times.
I was gonna say,
But good thing I have this and I can watch it a few
you
times.
watch it, right?
And people have it so they can watch it a few times. But yeah, this is exactly why I wanted you on this program. So thank you for blessing us with that. Wow. I feel like I need a minute.
Take your time, bro.
I was like, wait, what am I doing? What am I doing next?
I know. I wanted to give more of like a, this is going to be very, I didn't want to say trigger warning, but I was like, it definitely hit me. Definitely like.
Yeah, man. That's the thing. You just put it out, and people will take it how they need to take it, receive it how they need to receive it. But it's definitely needed, and I'm glad you're able to share it here. I feel so honored. So thank you. And I'm glad you didn't tell me what it was, because I was like, what you going to do? And you're like, nah, we're not going to do that.
You know what I mean? Because after our last conversation, I was like, no, she didn't just say the word grievances. I was like, let me perform that one.
Yeah.
From that one.
Yeah. Because when we last spoke, I was grieving and going through that. Mm-hmm. So that's why that hit. I was like, yes. And we all are at some point going through some type of grievances. So,
yeah.
So,
yeah.
That one hit good. Thank you.
Of course.
All right. So we're going to move into the segment I like to call Vibing with Peta segment.
Okay.
Where I just ask you a bunch of questions, and you just let whatever comes up just come out.
Gotcha.
They're fun. So based on the times and what we're going through. So you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So my first question for you is, who is a significant figure that you would have liked to have, living or dead, that you would have liked to have met or meet?
Or meet.
And why?
For some reason, my instinct is just always Whitney Houston, Whitney Houston.
Okay. R.I.P.
I love R.I.P. to Whitney, man. Like, yeah, I think she's like, to me, that's queen. That's just,
yeah.
She's like, I think she's just unearthly. She's another universe. She's not from here, but just to sit down with her and chat and be like, So tell me,
Mhm.
what's it like being you? You know,
Yeah.
can
I
you
mean,
sing me a song?
you just love you love her music. You just love
I love her
everything
music, and
about
I
her.
think it's just her voice and the passion behind the voice.
Mm,
I think you hear it in every note. There's never been another artist, in my opinion, like her yet,
mm-hmm.
where it's raw, it's honest, it's you can tell she gives it her all. I remember I watched a documentary once about her, and her backup singers and her band just talk about that when she's singing, her whole back just looks like wings, and the
Wow.
way in which she just takes a full breath every night, and just it's like, to me, that's what you should do. You know, when you find the thing you love, you know, you almost have to just let it destroy you and let it just take over and give it your all, you know.
Yeah.
So admire her for her work ethic and definitely her art. So
Dope.
yeah.
Yeah. Whitney, I mean, that woman's special
Mhm.
for sure. I'm with you on that.
You know.
And then there's her medicine just still lives throughout.
Right.
What is the name of that song that she did with is it Kygo? The remake
The
of,
remake that they did, Want to Dance with Somebody?
yeah, what's the name of that song?
Wasn't it, or was it Heart? Which one did they remix? I forget.
It was like one of those songs in the 80s. I have it here. Let me look. I feel like I know.
I know they did a remix recently.
Yeah, the recent one that they did. It's
I don't know what it's called
called
though.
Bring Me a Higher Love. Oh. Higher
Oh
Love.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Like she's like I've never right, get it. Mm, mm. All of that. And when they came out with that song or did the remake to that song, I was like, and I heard her, I was like, yes. I swear I listened to that song 1,000 times when it came out. I just had it on repeat because Whitney just gave me all the life. I was like,
Life.
bring me there, Whitney. Higher love. I'm with you. Take me there. This angel, take me there, Whitney. I need to be there. Like, yo, her voice is for real. Like,
You know.
the truth. But that brought like this was not a part of the questions, but like I'm just curious to know, like, you love spoken word. Like, do you have a favorite spoken word artist that you love?
Ooh. I don't know if I haven't really. I need to dive more into like the community and see, you know, what's up. And this is still really my first year, but I
Yeah.
remember there's one guy I used to love, and I have his stuff on my iPod. I believe it's Neil Hilborn. Hilborn. I only seen him perform a couple times, but he has a couple of famous poems that are all on YouTube, and he for me is like, he's so cool. He's just another like kind of like Whitney. You can just see the sweat. You can see like the
Yeah.
intensity. You see the full like he's on, and he's going. He's giving it his all. So
Nice. Awesome.
yeah.
All right, so back into Vibe with Peta with the questions. If you had a choice, if you had to choose a quarantine bae that you wanted to shack up with during quarantine, celebrity, non-celebrity, who would it be?
Just like
We'll stick with
specific
celebrity because like
quarantine.
people know
Yeah. I
celebrity.
imagine I'm just like, yeah,
You're
I'm
like,
like Jennifer up the street.
right.
I've seen her a couple times on the block running her laps. What's up, Jennifer? I hope you see it.
Right? I hope you see me over here seeing you, right?
I mean, like, I feel like I should change my answer just because it's, you know, in quarantine. But I'm probably gonna stick with Kaylani. Like, I think everyone loves, you know who Kaylani is? We all
Of
love Kaylani,
course.
right? We
Right?
all love Kaylani, and she's got her daughter now, and I just love kids. So I'd be like, look,
Mm.
even if, you know, I'm just here babysitting, that's cool. I'm here for the baby. Me and the baby can have fun.
Okay, that's deep. That's
You
deep.
know what I mean? Like, at least I have a friend to confide in. You know, if not you,
Right.
I can babysit.
I was checking with your kid.
Right. I'm just hanging out. Like, she wants to watch cartoons. Weird. Me too.
You're
So
funny. But that's how much you dig her. Like you like I take on
right.
your baby.
I take on your baby. We don't even need to, me and the baby don't have a bond, you know.
Right.
But no, probably, yeah. I mean, shoot, any celebrity that's got a pool at this point, I'm down. I'm there. I'm in your house. Like, give me the keys. I'm pulling up. What's up? We're hanging out.
For the purposes of just quarantine in your room, we just wanted to know who would you want to be in your space with you during quarantine? But Kaylani is a fabulous choice.
My answer.
That she came up for me the other day. I was like in the shower and I wanted to hear Honey. Have you heard that song?
Oh yeah.
My women like I like my honey. Sweet. Yo.
That was a good. I remember when she dropped that. It was like right before Pride over the summer. It was like all you were hearing.
I did not hear that much. I just heard.
Oh, really?
I wasn't out and about like that, but yeah, when I did hear it, and then she had a new one with Taylor. What's her name? Tiana Taylor.
Oh, Tiana Taylor in the morning.
Yes.
I actually haven't watched the video in full yet because I know it's a lot.
I haven't seen the video. There's a video?
Hell
yeah.
Peta, there's a whole video.
Where I've been.
You have time tonight and there's some videos you should go watch. I'll send you the link.
On my list.
Right? To do. Today.
Yo, but that song, I was like, what? 2 females singing to each other? Yes. I'm there.
We need more of that. I think we need more of it. Women need to stop denying and just embrace that we're all beautiful. We need to be in competition.
What you said. Stop playing. Y'all need to stop playing. Y'all know what it is. Okay, we digress from. Okay, favorite book. It's a 4-part question. So favorite book, podcast, music / artist, and series that you're binging to right now.
Ooh, okay. Favorite series right now, just finished Little Fires Everywhere on Hulu. It's on Hulu. Great show. Kerry Washington, Reese Witherspoon, phenomenal acting.
I heard someone else said that they were watching that on this.
So good. In the quarantine. Yeah, it's a good show to binge watch. Just finished watching, actually caught up with The Last Dance with Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Also, so those two, like I can only watch like 1 or 2 shows per every 2 weeks. My mind just can't take it.
Yeah.
Very slow. Favorite book? What's the one I'm reading now? I'm reading a book called Freakonomics. I love nonfiction, nerdy type fact books.
Okay.
Like anything David, what's his name? This is David. Oh, I really forget his name. He wrote The Tipping Point. He wrote something else. David and Goliath. Anything nerdy I love book-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite podcast? I don't know, I forget the name of it. It's like five dope black girls talking, and it's called like I think it's literally called Black Girls Podcast.
Oh, all right.
So that's a fun one I love listening to. And then favorite artist? I mean, we were just talking about Zayn the other day, and I really was vibing out to him. Apparently, word today is that he's about to be a father, and I was like, cool. I am so happy for him, and I love his music. I hope he releases an album soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love. Yeah, his last 2 albums have been pretty fire. Okay, so what do you miss about your everyday? Well, you're still working, but I'm not sure how switched up your routine has been. But what do you miss anything about your everyday routine, or have your everyday routine been, changed, challenged, limited?
I really just miss going out. I say every day, like it's nice that I can go to work and I can still see people and see customers.
Mm-hmm.
But I just miss seeing new people. Like I've always said, like I love the people that I have around me. I love my family, I love my friends. But there's just something about seeing a new face, a new person that I'm like, they have a whole world, a whole life. I just get to ponder. People watching, I love people watching.
Yeah.
Like I can't people watch. People are in their house.
Yeah.
Behind closed doors now.
Can't see them.
Is
there a new hobby or old hobby that you're doing more of now in quarantine? Or a new hobby that you picked up in quarantine?
I'm trying my best, and by best, I mean I'm not even trying to learn a new language. I'm really trying to learn French and Spanish, but like Duolingo is on my phone. I just haven't, and I refuse to open the app.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. I've been able to pick back up like reading more now that I have more time. I can just read.
Yeah.
But also playing my guitar, which is nice.
Nice.
So I'm trying to get back. Like once you get away from guitar, especially like acoustic, your
Yeah.
fingers just get so like fragile.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
the one thing I'm like, let me learn the guitar for after this,
Okay. Sounds like you got a few hobbies there that you're
say
working on.
right.
If you had the choice, right, to choose between acting and spoken word, you just get one. Yeah, I did that to you. Which one would you choose
For the rest of my life,
for the rest of your life?
Peter, that's
I know.
stressful.
It's just it's not true, but if you had to, then
I'll say acting.
okay. Okay.
I love acting.
I mean, I'd miss your spoken word, but yeah, I'd watch your I'd watch your stuff. I'd watch your
Mhm.
films. I'd
You're
go
like,
see your play and be like, "There's a spoken word in there. I see."
right? Are those really her words or the authors? Oh,
Okay,
boom.
so if the last kind thing that you did for somebody.
The last kind thing. I don't know if I say the one where I was at work because I might get in trouble.
In trouble for what?
Discounts,
Well,
Um,
it's kind.
it's kind. I mean, I think there was a moment where I was driving home from work and I helped this lady at work. Like she wanted like a customer service line to Postmates,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess they took it offline because they've been getting a surge of calls. And I was like, "Well, here, let me get it for you," because I know like our personal helpline.
Yeah.
And she was all excited that I got her the number, and so she just slid me like a quick little 10. I was like, "Oh, thank you. I appreciate. I didn't do much, but thanks."
Yeah.
And then I was like, cool, I'm gonna go blow this money on dinner like after as soon as I get off. Like I'm excited. I'm gonna go home. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna eat.
Mm-hmm.
And I was driving home from work, and this man had a sign about trying to raise money to provide a funeral for his mother who just passed.
Oh wow.
And I was on the phone with my friend on speakerphone, and I was like, man, let me find this 10. I know I got a 10 in here somewhere. And I just gave that to him. And I was like, man, I hope for him that does. I was like, I know $10 isn't gonna go forever, but hopefully for him, he can find some sort of peace in that. So yeah, I
Yeah.
did that the other.
Wow. That's something. Because I don't feel like a lot of people, I can't speak for a lot of people, but I don't feel like people would give that much, or like a handful of people would give him more than a few dollars. So
Yeah.
good for you. That's dope. All right, my last question for you is, if you had one message for the world, what would it be?
Mm. One message. Wow.
Just one.
I think what I would say is there's a learning lesson in everything, and everyone you meet will always teach you something new, and you can always teach them something new too.
Yeah.
So
So
be willing to receive. I think that's our biggest thing is we're not always willing to receive. We always put a block up, which is makes sense. But now more than ever, we need to be ready to receive each other and embrace. So
yeah. No, that's definitely a thing. Receiving.
yeah,
But thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being on the program. Thank you for sharing on your medicine. I feel like you're just such a gift, and I love you and your soul and who you be. And I appreciate you being here and sharing your medicine. I hope, I know people get a lot of value from what you offered. So thank you for being here. Thanks for being you. Keep spreading your medicine and your light. I can't wait to see more of your spoken word poetry and your work
yes.
and your plays and your film work and all the things. I wish you all of the good things. So
Thank you, Peter. Thank you for having me. I mean, crazy like in the world that we live in. We were able to meet and connect,
yeah.
and even though you're down at the other side of California and I'm up here,
Yeah.
like
We
I
still in
can't
California.
even.
We still
We're
in
still in
California.
California. You know what I mean? But it's awesome to know that I have someone in my corner, someone on my team, and
Definitely.
someone I can relate to and confide in, you know, outside of the art realm. And so thank you.
Yeah. I feel like, you know, people just come into your life for a reason. And I appreciate you being in my life for the short time I've known you. It's been awesome to know you. So I definitely appreciate just how we came together and that we got to do this and collaborate. So thank you.
Absolutely.